Hi, I'm your host Vasco Duarte. Welcome to the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast, where we share tips and tricks from Scrum Masters around the world. Every day, we bring you inspiring answers to important questions that all Scrum Masters face day after day. Hello everybody, welcome to our TGIFN Product Owner episode, of course, this week with Rohit Ratan. Hey Rohit, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm looking forward for our Friday's conversation.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk product owners, all kinds of product owners. We'll talk about a great product owner in a minute. But before we dive into what a great product owner looks like, let's first, Rohit, share with our listeners what might have been potentially the worst product owner anti-pattern you've witnessed in your career.
There has been lots I could remember in terms of those anti-patterns that a product owner show. One, they can be, not present for the team. They are so busy with business work. One thing that, stands out for me, where I got pulled into this work by the product owners, which was not even my work. And then just to share this story, when I was working with this team, they had this feedback coming in every retro. The user stories are not good. It doesn't talk about what's the problem, pain point, acceptance criteria is not good. And I took an action. I told the product owner, I can help you out with it, and I can share some good, good templates, good ways of looking at a user story or building a requirement from a user's perspective. And I took that retro action, set up a call with, meeting with the product owner. And, we were having this conversation. I was talking about different ways on, building a product backlog, some product backlog management techniques. The product owner said, I see you have a lot of experience in this. Can you, for the next sprint, these are some top priority items. Can you build that backlog, user stories, acceptance criteria for me? And I did that. I said, okay, I'll do that. And it can be that you can use as guidance. And I said, okay, let me try this. And I did that for the next sprint planning, before that for refinement. And by the end of that sprint, the feedback was, yeah, it looks good. And for the next, after the retro happened, the product owner within the retro said, it's a good feedback. I think Rohit would be the best person to write a product backlog item, write the user story, write the acceptance criteria. And I was just looking blankly at both the team and the product owner. It's like, how did this become a new way of working? And the team was confident. They said, yes, it would be really good. And product owner was, yes, I have shrugged off my responsibility, right? And I was just sucked into this problem, and where I became a pseudo product owner who's supposed to write this user story. So for the next sprint, I did that, and and then I realized I cannot be doing this because I'm being biased. I cannot be of value to the team if I keep doing this. And I had to have that conversation with the product owner. I said, I just took that work for helping you show how it can be done, and suddenly it has become my work, which is not my forte. I can help you become better at this, and I can handhold you, but you need to take this accountability. And the conversation went another way, and took some time for the product owner to take it back. But then it was something that never started or never felt as if it was my responsibility.
So you reverse the process by then going to the product owner and saying, hey, I can't do this anymore. This is your responsibility. I have to step back so I can serve the team. Is that how you did it?
Yes. So it was a way for me when I tried to tell the team as well within the retro, when the product said, oh, Bro is going to take that responsibility. Without even asking me that, am I really ready to take that responsibility? I did, try to tell the team, and the team was like, no, Rohit, it looks good. If you can continue helping us out for the bigger purpose, can you do this role? So I had to take that conversation outside that retro because it was not helping the retro as well. So, I took the conversation out. I said, okay, I'll work with the product owner. And as I worked on the next sprint, I said, I'm going to help the team out because they have some kind of expectation. But my expectation is, I'm going to give it back to you, pass it back on to you to, run this work as your responsibility, as your accountability. I cannot be listening to you and writing things for you, right? If whatever you are thinking, you should be the best person to reflect it in your own work. I can help you to structure those that requirement, that thought process of yours, but it's your responsibility. You're the best person to do it.
And it's very important for us to say that, literally say it's your responsibility, because sometimes we want to help so much we forget where the responsibility line lies.
Yeah, it is. And without asking for permission of, are you even ready? Putting people into a spot where, if you say no, you are letting down a lot of expectation. And if you're saying yes, you're letting down your own expectation or putting more burden on yourself. So, it's not healthy to put people in such situation without even asking them.
Absolutely. And knowing where that line is and being able to stand up for those, let's call it splits or division of responsibilities is very important.
It is, yeah. Understanding roles and responsibilities.
So Rohit, let's go and dive into the opposite, the best product owner you've ever worked with. How did they work?
So I've worked with lots of good product owners, very challenging, very eager to learn, having a growth mindset. And I can share a story where we were developing this product, and we had a new product owner who joined us, very eager and joined us from the business side, but very eager to work as a product owner with that business domain knowledge, and very sure, wanted to learn, wanted to bring the best possible skills for the team. This person would go on trainings or go on conferences and even come back and talk to me about it. And then it was challenging for me as a Scrum Master to keep up to that knowledge so that I understand what they are saying. How can we be better? And the way they talked about how they can empower a team. And just to share a funny story, we were talking about NoEstimates, right? When I was introduced to NoEstimates by this product owner, when this person had gone to a session in a webinar or conference somewhere and heard about hashtag NoEstimates, hashtag NoProjects, and brought in that concept and said, "What's all this about? Can we try this? Can we get the teams to think about it? Sounds really interesting. Sounds really useful." And at that time, I had not heard about it, but it was a good challenge for me. And that's where I had learned about it, about what it means. So, a product owner who brings challenge, not just for in terms of user requirements, but challenge to improve you, challenge for learning something new as together, as a partner. It's empowering for you as a Scrum Master.
Yeah, absolutely. And it pushes us, right? It pushes us to consider different aspects, and it pushes us in the end to be better at being Scrum Masters. The ideas could be any, right? Like you talked about NoEstimates and NoProjects, but it could have been about service design. It could have been about UX. It could have been about customer interviews. It could have been about experimentation, lean startup. And the product owners who are able to bring those types of knowledge into the team and even push the team in a sense of catalyzing, motivating the team to try out different ways, and of course that includes the Scrum Master. That's definitely a product owner that can bring a lot of value to the team.
Yeah, and they people like these, they build that safety, build that space where the teams can experiment. They know things can happen positively or can go wrong, and they understand in this complex world, there's the uncertainty is always there. So it's fun to work with these people because it's a learning experience. It's a place they they not only challenge themselves, they also challenge you to improve and become a better version of yourself. And that positivity of that interacting with the person like that brings in helps you become a better version.
Absolutely. And anyone that we feel helps us become a better person is somebody definitely worth working with. Thank you for sharing that story, Rohit, a very inspiring story about a great product owner. And sometimes it has nothing to do with the role of the product owner, right? Like this, in this example. So Rohit, we're getting close to the end though, but before we go, where can people find out more about you and the work that you're doing?
I've got my LinkedIn profile. I can share it with you. You can put it on the podcast. That would be great. People can connect with me. I'm happy to help. If anyone like to talk, just drop me a message. If I can help, I will surely help. If I can't, if I know someone else can help, I will let them know as well. So feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn.
Absolutely. And why not everybody just go and follow up with Rohit and ask a few questions. Rohit, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for your generosity with your time and your knowledge.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It has been fun talking to you.
One more week of the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast is over, but there's a lot more we have to share. We have developed our own membership site where you find a community of active and engaged Scrum Masters. In this site, you get access to exclusive content and get to interact with us, your podcast host, as well as the best Scrum Masters in the world. So join us at scrummasterpodcast.com and keep this podcast free of advertising. See you next week for one more full week of Scrum Master tips and tricks. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.